Welcome back to Magoo's Visual. Everybody's having a blessed day. So J. Cole dropped the track last night. Port Antonio. I think that's Port Antonio, Portland. Anyway, dropped the track last night. It was a good track, man. It's a real good track. I'm gonna break it down. I actually wrote down some notes because I have a lot of thoughts on it. But I want to share it with you guys. I actually want to share it with you guys. Now, I will say this, man. Overall, I really do like the track. I like the track. I like the production. When I first heard the production, when I heard it come on, I heard the sample, I said, oh yeah, this is definitely up his alley. You know, the atmosphere of it and everything like that, this is definitely a J. Cole track. I mean, you can hear, the Jay-Z Dead Presidents, which is my favorite Jay-Z song of all time. You know what I mean? I can hear that, and I know Jay-Z sampled that from somewhere else as well. But yeah, when I heard that and I heard his first verse, I was like, okay, yeah, man, Cole's rapping. One thing about Cole, man, he is top tier. Homie can rap. He can rap. To me personally, he is one of the best of all time, skill set wise. He can rap, you know what I mean? In the second verse, that's when he started to address the Drake and Kendrick battle. You know what I mean? Everything like that. And one of his reasons why stepping down. One of the reasons why stepping down is because he said that they're both my friends. He didn't want to pick sides of it. You know what I mean? Now, I do have something about that. But at the same time, I understand why. Because the sole fact of, like I said before, go check out my channel. I've been covering that battle since it started. You know what I mean? I don't think I did review it first for sure, but definitely like that. You know what I mean? 7-minute drill. Everything, all the disses. I covered it all, you know what I mean? And I said in my I understood why J. Cole dropped out, but at the same time, hip hop is a battling is a part of hip hop, you know what I mean? It's a part of hip hop, especially when you claim you are the best. There are times when you're gonna have to step up and defend that crown, you know what I mean? When you claim Muhammad Ali, I love boxing, man. Muhammad Ali is one of my favorite athletes of all time. He didn't duck no fades. He ducked no fades with Joe Frazier, Sonny Liston, George Foreman. Even when he was old and he fought Larry Holmes and still was in that ring fighting, he couldn't defend himself. He still got in that ring. You know what I mean? So battling is a part of hip hop, especially when you claim you Muhammad Ali. I love Ali, so I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? I understood, like, hey man, maybe that's not really. Maybe you are just a great rapper and you just don't want to battle. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he said he didn't want to battle because he felt like he was going to lose a friend, So kind of wrote down a few things. He said they wanted blood and clicks to make their pockets grow. That was one of the things I disagreed upon. If you know your hip hop going back, man, Drake and Kendrick were destined to battle. They were destined to battle. From the Control verse and everything, there was always animosity there between the two. Now, J. Cole is cool with both of them, but at the same time, they were destined to battle, bro. Back then, if you didn't know, when Kendrick was still on TDE and everything like that, and Drake's with Young Money, back then, the powers that be behind the scenes stopped the battle from happening. Because, yeah, they wanted to go at it. Kendrick wanted to go at him. But I think it was Top in his team. They were like, nah, just kind of chill out and everything like that. But this is kind of a little bit after Control. So we're talking about maybe over 10 years ago. They were destined to battle, and everything building up from subliminals and all that kind of stuff. It was bound to happen sooner or later. So I highly doubt this battle was for clicks and to make their pockets grow. Completely disagree with that one. Like, nah, bro. They were destined to fight. Now, if you're the man and you're in the middle of it, yeah, you may look at it like that. But at the same time, as fans, people who've been, following it since the beginning, nah, bro. It was destined to happen sooner or later. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, to me, like, I disagree with that one. There was also a line he says, I wouldn't have lost the battle, dog. I would have lost the bro. And here's the one thing I will say. All rappers have egos. All rappers have egos, bro. It doesn't matter if you go back to the 80s, to the 90s, early 2000s up to today, all rappers have egos, even the ones who claim they're the most humble. Because hip hop is a sport, you know what I'm saying? When you out there and you battling, you presenting your skill set to be the best, you have an ego when people are like, oh man, you ain't all, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you whack, like, man, that whack word back then, man, that was serious, man. Those fighting words at that point, you know what I mean? So I think that, when he did say that, he felt like, yo, man, if I would have battled Kendrick, I would have lost a friend. And he didn't want that to happen. You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, looking on it, I can understand J. Cole saying that. At the same time, like I said, man, hip hop is a sport. It's a battle. So when you're out there battling, yo, bro, you got to be ready. You got to be ready, man. You can't claim you the best. And when it's time to show up to defend your crown, you know what I mean? Because here's the thing, 7-minute drill, he did release 7-minute drill. 7-minute drill is out there and he did delete it and everything like that before Kendrick could rebuttal. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's another thing. Do I think Kendrick and J. Cole would have got as messy as Drake and Kendrick? No. And the reason why I say that is because listen to Euphoria. Kendrick said in Euphoria, this is a friendly fade. And Euphoria is dope as I don't know what. Euphoria is dope and it's layered, but it's a friendly fade. I think J. Cole and Kendrick could have battled those lines, you know what I mean? But at the same time, 7-minute drill didn't get the same response as a Euphoria did, you know what I'm saying? Or even as much as the push-ups did, you know what I mean? So I don't think that it didn't get that same response that maybe he would have liked. Or at the same time, maybe he was battling like, nah, man, this ain't it. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I got gassed up. And then sometimes, man, when you at that certain point where you feel like you're about to crash out, that's when you need a big homie. That's when you need a big homie or a mentor or somebody, especially as men. You need somebody to be like, nah, bro, back up, don't put it out, don't do it. And I think in that time, J. Cole probably needs somebody on his shoulder, you know what I mean, even on his team to be like, don't put it out. You know what I mean? If you're conflicted in your spirit, don't do it because it ain't the best for you. You know what I'm saying? So when he said that, I'm like, you know, man, to me, that's his ego. That's his rapper being like, nah, I wouldn't have lost the battle, bro. But at the same time, there are people picking this line apart because it's like, well, you say that, but at the same time, you did back down. You know what I mean? Like I said, I can understand why he backed down, but at the same time, the hip hop fan in me, when it's like, hey, battling it, man, when it's time for you to say, when it's time for you to defend that crown, you got to be ready, bro. So I think that, yeah, that was the line that was like, okay, people are definitely going to pick that apart. You know what I mean? But overall, man, like I said, there was a couple more things. Well, I'm looking through my notes, man. There was a couple more things, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, there was another one. When he said digging up dirt, you know, the algorithm and bots and everything like that and the memes. To me, when he said that, people were like, oh, he's saying that towards Kendrick. To me, that's more so towards Drake. Because we know Drake, as far as academics, Aiden Ross, and all those people being in his corner, you know what I'm saying? With the algorithm and stuff like that, even when you read the comment section of certain, you know, those certain like posts on IG and everything like that, I'm like, oh man, it's funny. I'm seeing the same posts on every single, you know what I mean? And even, you know, with the memes and stuff, like, because we know Drake was memeing like I don't know what. I mean, he's still memeing post-battle. So to me, that was kind of more so towards Drake than it was Kendrick. But I know people saying it's towards Kendrick. But I'm like, he really can't use the bot thing towards Kendrick, even if that is the case, because academics came out and said on his channel, like, nah, when he was running with the bots, claim like, nah, the bot, it's not true. He was like, those Spotify numbers for Not Like Us are real. He's like, it's not bots. And he came out, he said he spoke to somebody high up in Spotify. And they told him, it's, you know, it's not bots. So I think that whole algorithm and bot thing is more so towards Drake. I could be wrong, but hey, I mean, we'll see. Another thing was my friends went to war. I walked away with the blood on me. Now, I will say that I don't think he did walk away with the blood on him. I don't think he walked away with blood. I think he walked away before the blood got bloody. You know, I will say that. I think he walked away before it got bloody because at the same time, man, like I said, Kendrick and Drake, it went there, bro. It went to the depths of hell. And the reason why I say it went that way is because Kendrick said, he said, man, I can read your moves before you go. And here's the thing about Drake, dog. And I say it before, I love Kendrick and Cole. And I like Drake. I think Drake's cool. But like Drake's moves as far as battling are predictable. You already know where he's going to go. He weaponizes women. He weaponizes women and he weaponizes families as he's battling people. He does. He really does. Even now, like when you see him putting up posts and memes of Jay-Z. He's going at Jay-Z right now. Of, you know, of Aaliyah and Solange, after her, Solange and Beyonce and Jay-Z had that altercation in the elevator, right? So Drake weaponizes women. You know what I'm saying? The reason why it got that point, because he went at that man's family. He said, hey, man, meet the grand say, so, hey, you brought my family's name. Now I got to drag you down. I got to drag you down, and I'm going to beat you down like nobody's ever had before. I'm going to change you, homie. Like, he changed them. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think it got, for J. Cole to say that, I mean, it's a dope line. But for him to say that, I think that, nah, you walked away at the right time before it got bloody. You know what I'm saying? You came back to the battlefield and saw your man on the ground like, oh, snap. Yo, he whipped you. I think that's what really happened. But at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you know, that's that. Another thing, he says he didn't want to pick sides between. Yeah, and that's another thing I will say is that, you know, kind of wrapping all this up, I do think that he is closer to Drake than he is Kendrick, especially now, lately, you know what I'm saying? I got a whole separate video I'm going to do on that. You know what I mean? Because of the whole first shoot and everything like that. He did give love to Drake at the end of the song saying, hey, man, I respect you for what you did and I appreciate you and everything like that. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like, that's his friend. You know what I'm saying? I think he's closer to Drake than he is Kendrick. I just think him and Kendrick share the same spaces as far as it goes consciously in their music and stuff like that. I don't think that they're as close as we may like to think they'd be. At one point, I think they were, but now kind of looking at the battle and everything post, it's like, I think he's more closer to Drake than he is Kendrick. And hey, man, that's how it is sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't none of my business. You know what I'm saying? I'm just reporting the news. Yeah, but overall, man, I will say that J. Cole can't rap his butt off. And I think also that this was more so a thing of him protecting his legacy, because people kind of look at him like, oh, you weak for bowing out. And I did say that I'm looking for forward to the fall off. And I think the fall off after hearing this track is going to come out sometime in December. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to come out sometime in December, maybe November, you know, but I do think it's going to come out before 2025. If it does come out in 2025, it'd be kind of dope if it come out in January, because we all know his birthday is in January. So yeah, man, overall, man, I do like the track. You know what I'm saying? There are people online who are not, I don't say picking holes at it, but they're kind of critiquing it. Like, okay, well, if you're saying this, then how are you saying, you know what I mean? Like they are critiquing the track. I mean, rightfully so, though. Rightfully so. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. I mean, we'll see what comes out of this. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the fall off. I'm looking forward to who's going to be featured on it, and we'll see where it goes from there, man. Honestly, people are like, oh, do you think Kendrick is going to respond to this? I don't think so. I think Kendrick at this point, man, he's created moments. You know what I mean? Throughout his whole career, he's created absolute moments in hip hop history that we will always remember, you know what I'm saying? Especially after this battle and him going on to the Super Bowl and stuff like that, and supposedly like rumored, allegedly, a stadium tour. I don't see it happening. I don't see him responding to Cole because I don't think this deserves a response. You know what I'm saying? People are like, oh, well, he was making backhanded compliments towards Kendrick. That could be the case if you look at certain lines. But at the same time, I don't see Kendrick responding to this because I don't think it is response worthy. You know what I mean? It's just something that J. Cole felt like he had to get off his chest, you know, just to move on forward. He still say, hey, my pen is sharp. The gun's still deadly and stuff like that. Now, here's the thing. I do think that, yeah, he is deadly. But at the same time, there are always going to be those people, you know, even myself, I did do a video on it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, bro, if you talking that, you can't back out when it's time to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't back out when it's time to fight. So there are always going to be people out there who have that, not speculation, but who always have that critique of J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? Especially now. It's like, hey, bro, if you're cool with just saying, if you're just cool saying you're the middle child, just say that. You know what I mean? Because when it is time to fight for the crown, because like I said it before, in my review before, I mean, not my review, but overall, there's never been a period in hip hop where there was 3 kings. There's never been a time. There's always been one king, one throne, you know, one crown. Like I said, the crown is heavy, you know what I mean? So you got to be ready to fight for that crown, especially if you say you are Muhammad Ali and the best. But overall, man, I love J. Cole. He can rap his butt off. The production is dope. I'm looking forward to the fall off. And, you know, this is me just being a fair critique. It's a fair critique. I love to hear you guys' comments in the comment section. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I hope everybody has a blessed day. I'll see you guys soon.